they can go to a map 3 and then have some sort of pressure if Soniqs end up winning Cafe. So this is a highly technical map. There's a lot of work. This is very similar to Coastline in the way where there's a lot of top floor destruction that can be done pretty much on every single floor. You have to watch out for the floorboards, sledge, breaching charges, buck, all these things. Massive when it comes to what's available. And the Thermite's going to be the first ban. Soniqs fire back with a Thatcher ban.
Oh,
this is going to be just a mess trying to breach. And now my conversation about soft destruction is going to be twice as important because you won't have the flexibility. You need to fight from below if you want to destroy any utility. And I expect Mozzie mute combos to come out to deal with any Twitch drones that might be in play. There's the Echo ban. I expect the Mira maybe to do the second one unless something crazy. No, there you go. Expected the Echo and the Mira. So mute Mozzie, it has to happen. This is a signature map for Mozzie specifically. We've seen it in every region. I think Joystick has shown everybody in EU how strong Mozzie is on this map, specifically if you combo, given the fact now that there's two hard breachers available. You're going to need that Maverick. Like, need is the word for it.
Yeah. Maverick's definitely going to be important. Habana is going to be the most important. You can do this map without a Thermite and a Thatcher, but
it's very difficult.
You don't want to do this map without a Thermite and a Thatcher. Here's the interesting thing. Soniqs are so far not 6-picking the Maverick in, so what that's going to mean is it's unlikely, considering the Kaid is in play, it's unlikely that we will see the back bar storage wall get opened up. Because the Kaid Electroclaws are going to go on that wall, and they're either going to go downstairs or they're going to go up high. So see the wall that Callout is reinforcing right now? That's where the Electroclaws are likely to go. Now, you can either put them at the top of the reinforcement. That means that the skylight on the ceiling / roof for the defender, for the attackers, the skylight can't see the Electroclaw if it's placed high on that wall, so it can't be shot from this skylight. Or you're going to go down under the wall and put it low, so under the floor, so that the attackers have to clear underneath to get to it. That would make it even harder because then nades can't destroy it from the skylight. In this case, they're going to be putting it looks like high on the wall. That's fine. It's the easier way, and it's less exposed to potential clear downstairs, but it is also then exposed to the nades from the skylight. So, Obey will probably put an ADS to cover the Electroclaw.
Yep.
Now, the point I'm trying to get at here is, why is all this relevant? Well, it's very relevant because of Thatcher being banned. That's it. Like, he's banned, so the wall is going to be really hard to open because the Electroclaw is going to be really hard to destroy.
Yeah, and you can double down, you can put in a mute as well. It combos really well in two ways on this map, specifically because of the operator bans, plus having the Mozzie and the Clyde in play. And because they're Electroclaws, it's so much more difficult to snipe them off from below. This is why I was saying Maverick is going to be near to a must on this, because this is all it takes. Clyde will just throw a wrench in any plan that you have set for any site, really, when it comes to Cafe Dostoevsky.
Gonfi opening up those drop downs, and it's just a pretty standard take so far from Soniqs. You'll note, guys, that it usually takes, for an efficient team, about 40 seconds to get your attackers onto the roof. For a decently, like a average team, 1 minute to get your attackers onto the roof.
Oh! Fozo, beautiful Nitro. Oh, he's going to be blasting that player up to the roof. And Super, though, will be finding Abu Nai. So taking down the Jaeger. Goddess will be dropping in support. Super watching out for any rotations, any drops outside of the windows here on the eastern side of the map. But it's a Nomad, and all air jabs have been set down. This might be assault from the windows to push in with pressure from Piano. Taking down the Slubin there is really going to slow things down. And you don't have the soft breach, so where's the Sledge? Is he anywhere nearby? You're going to need him to open an extra hole to come in from the bathroom. The Sledge is all the way up, though, setting up frag grenades later on the round, probably.
Take a look at that, guys. The Electroclaws persist. The wall's still electrocuted. And you'll note, the Electroclaws are actually placed in a slightly destroyed top part of the wall. Now, what that means is they can be shot from piano, but the attackers have to know that they exist there. What it also means is explosives thrown into freezer or back bar storage will not destroy the Electroclaw as easily. They can still, but it's unlikely. So that is a risk that the defenders have taken, but that also, again, means once the Electroclaw's position is known, it can easily be shot by any attacker.
Well, Super now on the repel. This is why he's here, and this is why he had his utility pre-placed, and Super finds a kill. Goddess with another one onto Forest. Nitro Cell used up by Grixer, but it will not connect. Little time left. There's we go. That's Nitro Cell being used. Close to dropping Gumpy there, but Fozo, beautiful play at long range. He'll get one kill. It's the headshot. Diffuser's been placed. Neptune's beautiful play here at the SMG-11 to take down Fozo's Grixer on his own versus 3. The headshot on the Gumpy. And now, what are you looking for if you're the Soniqs? To get the hell out of this building. Play on the reverse repel by the windows. That's really the only way for you to solidify your position, but no, both players will be sitting down here on the main floor. Goes in, but there's 2 players watching the advances. Goddess will find Grixer, and all facilitated thanks to Super's entry. First kill, and then the follow-up as he entered, vaulting in by the window. That was the playmaker.
Good job there to Super. Good job to Soniqs for the win. Obey. Their fallback position in that round was the top of White Stairs, and they didn't have enough of a hold onto Cocktail, which is so important when you're defending on this map. And, well, as soon as they lost Cocktail, effectively at that point, you can't push back up the top of White Stairs, and those players had to go into Piano. Now, Piano as a position to retake, remember when I was talking about those long angles on Coastline and how it's hard to play Kitchen as a retake site because of the long angles the attackers can establish? Well, that is also true when you're trying to retake from Piano onto Cocktail, especially considering all of the destruction that had played out through that round. And you saw at the end there, those last 2 defenders in Piano, they're struggling with the angles. They're struggling to take the fights because they're losing out to the attacker's advantage of the range. It happens. Really, the problem isn't necessarily the range. That's something you need to work around. That's a part of the game, right? And you could just take those long-range fights. It's doable as a defender. I'm not saying that you can't. What I am saying is that usually you hold on to Cocktail so that you don't have to think about it. It doesn't come to that. But yeah, you're right. It's those entry frags that Soniqs managed to get. Good picks there on Cocktail. I'm just surprised to see how slow Obey were reacting to that loss of control.
Yeah, the reaction was, let's double up with another Nitro Cell from the Mozzie, but it really was not the play. I like the way that even without having the required hard breach and the ways to deal with the Clyde, it still worked out well for the Soniqs. I mean, they were able to push in deep, didn't even need the repel. They just planted, and they were very happy with the way that things went down on bar. Super will go for the very same position as he was in before here by the eastern wall, and he can set up to go into pillars in just a bit, if that is even the plan. Lie down for a bit, go chill, drone around, and make sure you know where your opponents are before you assault in. Force covering here with the default cam to give his teammate the Mozzie Grixer a bit of space as he just steps up inside of reading. Remember, we talked about so much soft breach that's going to be important on this map. Well, you have a ton of it available for the Soniqs here in the Sledge. That Jackal and the Zofia with the breaching charges, you can open up a lot, but Abunai will find Slebin and eliminates the Jackal. The Hunter becomes the Hunted becomes the Hunter. In this case, Neptunes from above will finish off Abunai, but not before Super. He's taken a decent chunk of damage himself.
So, one of the roamers dealt with, but you can see Grixer up in White Hallway is going to be trying to do some work. He'll move into the bathroom, positioning himself well. Call out eliminated, and again, we've talked about how, he hears the enemy, and he gets the easy kill. Neptune's executed from behind. Grixer with the drop, and he'll get his second. Beautiful gunplay and positioning from Grixer. The third is in! What a down! He doesn't seem to know he's done it, but the C4 comes out. And there it is, the finish off on Super. Just Goddess now on the attack. and she is pushing her way into sight with the watch there from the mute of Fozo. Obey will take a round. Beautiful job there from Grixer.
That was just... That's as cash money of a flank as you'd love it to be.
Yeah, you're talking about rounds that scream, we deserve to be in Pro League. That's one of them there from Grixer. We've seen amazing performances from Grixer today, from Callout. We've seen from Abu Nai. Yeah, actually, even Forrest has had his big moments, and Fozo as well. So it's been a really big day for Obey. Now, not to degrade the Soniqs, because they've also had their moments. Now, see if they can push it here on their map. A reminder, yeah, this is the Soniqs map, so it is very important that they win this one. In that, well, Obey took map number 1, of course, but also because that would be, well, it would be true proof that Obey deserves the spot if they were to win here on Soniqs map. Now, we'll be going back to the top floor here for Obey Alliance. A reminder, Cafe is a defender-sided map, as is pretty common, but this is an exceptionally defender-sided one. Because the, I guess, because it's a new map, it's usually how it works out. And once the meta is sufficiently evolved, you'll see that kind of shift away, and we'll get to that point at some later down the line. But that usually takes years.
What I liked is that that was a kitchen defense that was successful, which is kind of a hit or miss.
I kind of like kitchen. Well, it was
in terms of like when the defense is actually able to take it, is something like 40-60,
something like that. I'm not really sure. I don't have the stats in front of me. But what I will say is most of the defending, and this might be why they were successful, most of the defending was not even on the kitchen.
Yep.
So
it was just the beautiful flank, unexpected to have the Mozzie run up the stairs.
We've seen the Sonic struggle with their information gathering before.
That is true.
Quite a lot, actually.
But it was before we saw it later in the round, not really in really the middle of it, where they are mostly on top of things. I mean, even the sledge in that location was droning. He was checking everything. Unfortunately, it was a bit closer than he had expected. But now, in this bar take, the Soniqs will drop down. They have a lot of time for this, and it doesn't seem like there's anything from Obey that is prepared to stop their entries into or through any of those reinforced walls. So you won't be, you have the Qa'id, that's it. Nothing more that was added as we saw a couple of rounds ago. Gonfi will take down a Maestro camera here and the default cam as well. Drones are sailing all over the place, and the Qa'id is trying to slow things down in his own way. Now, I'm not sure where the Electric Claw was set. Maybe it's in the same position as before.
We'll see in just a second once we get there.
There you go, and no, it is directly on the wall, it seems.
It's at the top and directly at the wall, I think. Or no, it might be below.
It's not at the same spot.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, it's definitely proving to be a problem for the Soniqs, as they cannot destroy it. I believe it's below, because I need glasses and I don't have them, so my eyesight's terrible, but I can't see it on that wall.
Well, only time will tell, I guess, at this point. Is there any... there's no way to look through it anyways. Grixer will still find Slubbin, and there's Neptune's down as well, right at the entry. There's a lot of time being wasted here, and Neptune's will be picked up at 20 HP. Big losses as the Habana is forced to enter through the sidewall onto the bar. Foes on the Qa'id will eliminate the drone, as this time they're still awaiting Super to dive on in, but I assume Obey are ready for it. And you see, even the Maestro has turned his eyes towards that window. Grenade will be lobbed in and will do just a bit of damage to the Maestro, and Neptune's missing the shot, but Super will not. His Force taken away. Callout, though, hitting the kill onto Gonfi. Callout finding another one onto God as his Grixer takes down Super, and there's Callout with a 3K on Neptune to take him out. At least a 3K here in the retake. I'm not sure if he got one before, but here we are. A lot of damage, and as you said in map 1, if Callout's alive, it's winnable.
Absolutely. Big round there from Callout and the rest of Obey, really earning that one. It was looking pretty dangerous for a while because of the setup we saw from the Soniqs. Now, this has been the story for this whole match, and it's much the same as what we were seeing on Coastline earlier. Big difference is Cafe. There's more places for the defenders to hide. But anyway, the story is this. We see Soniqs set up angles, crossfires, and just really waiting for kills to walk into these angles and gain an advantage for the Soniqs on the attack. That's what they're doing, and they keep trying to lean into this. So much so that they leave it to the dying seconds of the round before they even start pushing the site. So that's rough for sure if you're the Soniqs when none of that works. And the reason it's rough is because Obey aren't letting it work. They're just not walking into the angles that would give them away, that would let them get picked off. It's a really good way to play to counter Sonic's playstyle. Is how Obey's doing it. It's just patience. You gotta applaud Obey for always having that safe space to avoid getting eliminated on those angles that Soniqs keep setting up. You also gotta point a finger at Soniqs and say, hey, maybe change what you're doing here. It's weird because, I mean, this is typical Siege, right?
Yeah.
When you're a defender, a big part of the game is just, hey, you need to persist. You need to stay safe on your angles. When you're an attacker, you need to open up more angles using your destruction and try to pick off the defenders who are trying to stay safe. It's really, really basic stuff. Cat and mouse. Obey are just playing that cat and mouse game a little bit better. Only ever so slightly, though. Yeah. By the way, that was an update to the community vote. We're at 55% in favor of Obey now.
Yeah. So right now, what we're doing is at the end of every map, we have an updated vote, and I'm not sure why.
Did they update that? Because I keep seeing that happen where the air jab goes on the window.
Yeah, I don't know, because that didn't work before. I don't know if there was anything changed in the past. Please feel free to let us know. But
yeah, correct us if we're wrong, but last we checked.
Last we checked, it did not change.
Air jabs do not detonate mid-air. Yep. Last we checked.
It only detonates if your feet are firmly on the floor as a defender, and that's when it pops. So that would actually be completely ineffective. If something has changed in the past couple weeks, please let us know. I'm playing extensively, and I don't know if that actually would change.
I don't know either.
That aside, Neptunes will find Abunai. He takes a bit of damage, but the Jaeger off the board. Good start here for Soniqs.
Yep, that's cocktail control, and they can turn that into much, much more moving forward. Maybe we're both really dumb, and it's
it's completely fine.
We don't know.
But that's why we're asking, because I don't believe that there was any talk about it when it actually happened. Usually there is conversations about these things. That said, Nitro Cell has been used, and it will not connect. Grixer might be pushed here, and there's the sludge that opens up the castle barricade. Unfortunately, that's two players doubling up on Grixer, and he will be shot down. Drones downstairs by the pillars will give away the position of that castle. And the shotgun set on the staircase, very difficult position to push through, and that's call out. So we've seen the amount of work that he can do. But because you have top floor control, Soniqs can afford to kind of use the next 15 or so seconds to prepare for their assault and call out. And he's trying to lure them into a false sense of comfort.
It's the waiting game here, ladies and gentlemen. Obey are really good at this. And they do have a two-man disadvantage, but that is going to be a one-man disadvantage as Callout peeks on the Slebin and wins the fight. 22 seconds left for the Soniqs to make their attack happen. We've seen this time and time again go the way of Obey, but Super's not going to have any of that this time as Fozo goes down to his bullets. Forrest in his sight gets one, make that two. Can he get the third? Looks like he might be able to as it's got it stranded. Beautiful pistol play and a 4K. What a clutch from Forrest. Obey. Big rounds here.
Here's the good night coming out. That rush was just not working out at all. Beautiful play with the UMP and just timed perfectly, shot after shot as Obey collect yet another round here on the defense. There's the replay for you guys. Check it out. There's Forrest with one, Forrest with two as he drops it and now pulls out the pistol. Still had 4 bullets in the magazine, found one, and they doubled up. It was so close. Neptunes could have gotten both of them.
Yeah.
But final bullet will connect with the Colt 45. And there you go. From the hip, you get some.
One magazine, 2 kills.
Man,
You don't see that.
with a UMP?
2 kills with the UMP, then 2 kills with the 45.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking good.
That's impressive.
So Obey now at 3-1. Should they get one more round, they'll be sitting very pretty when it comes to Café Dostoyevsky.
It's impressive for Forest. It's also really, really amazingly bad for the Sonics.
They messed it up.
How? Goddess and then Neptunes. How? Man. I mean, we've seen Neptune's be... His aim has been a little shaky today. But, you know, it's a today thing. Because we do know... I mean, Neptune's is a really nutty shot. He has amazing moments. So it's a today thing, for sure. But today of all days, to be not hitting that shot. I mean, man, Forrest was in a sprint. He was in the middle of a sprint animation when he got the engagement, when Neptune's peeked him. He can't fight back there. All right, moving on. So, that's 3 rounds in a row for Obey, guys.
That's huge.
No. Rough one for Soniqs right now on their map. Of course, it is Obey on the defense. Hey, the air jab's on the right side this time. I really, I'm gonna, you know what, when I get home, because I'm sure people will tell us, but when I get home, I'm gonna go test it myself.
Yes.
Just to be sure.
I'm waiting because there's the delay on the stream.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for the...
Everyone to start telling us?
Yeah, for the tweets and everything.
That's the thing, is because I've found that there's, you know, not everyone actually knows, so a lot of people will say what they don't. So like I said, I'm gonna wait till I get home and I'm gonna test it.
It's a very good way to do it.
Well,
so, you think someone would do that? Go on the internet and spread lies?
Oh, you're right. You're right, Gassan. No one does that.
No one does that ever.
That's just, I'm being silly.
Yes.
All right. So, Soniqs, top floor control. They're not certain about that, of course, because of Vigil's ability. They're going to be looking for anybody. I think, yeah, at this point, they're confident. So, top floor control, they can use this now to start pushing down. Now, of course, this is going to be a kitchen defense. A reminder, we saw a full cycle, 3 rounds in a row from Obey, and that means they have to go back to their first site, being kitchen.
Yeah. They made it happen on the main 3. Of course, nobody plays in train. No, it's just...
Yeah, it's just an unplayed site.
No, when you have reading. And, oh, no checking. Plus, the ERC was activated. And there's the SMG-12 being played as well. There's support from the Mozzie, so Grixer is here. Abunai crossing, and he stays alive. The grenade right in front of him, and it will barely do any damage. He's going to get pressured as well from above. Will there be a drop? It seems like it. Oh, he snap aims, but Gomfi is already there. Grixer, though, will find one kill. They're trying to push him. There's the Nitro Cell coming out. It will detonate, but it will not hit. And as Grixer went for the ADS, it's Gomfi to take him out. Obey Alliance waste so much time and take 2 players out for their 2 own. But there's 25 seconds left. This is all completely worth it right now for Obey, and they still have 3 massive operators on the board. Gomfi is in. He still has 1 more stun, Gizmot, to be used, but there's 12 seconds left, and all of these rifles are trailed to the 1 entryway. You go in for the pre-fire, that's 1 kill, 2 kills for Forrest, with the on 3 for Forrest! He's collecting them all! And my god, Forrest Gump has got a new set of legs here, and he is firing on all cylinders.
Forrest with the big plays through this map. That's 2 rounds in a row on his back. Great job there holding down that doorway. We'll see a replay of that real quick.
That drop on the floor was beautiful.
Yeah, the timing on it really worked out for him because I don't think that Soniqs were expecting him to get aggressive and wide peek this. You can see just 2 heads-up fights there. 1, no headshots, mind you. The last one is a headshot, but no headshots with an AUG. That is a slow-to-kill weapon, and he still manages to win that.
And you saw Goddess at the end. She corrected to try and fight him as he was in his previous position. But he already dropped to the floor. If it was planned or not, it doesn't matter. He just dropped on the floor. He played it. And even if he had died to Goddess's fire, there was still the bandit on the other side in support. And there was still a 3rd player as well waiting to catch that refrag. And the odds were stacked against Soniqs. Time-wise, they messed it up real bad.
Here's the thing. Yes, defense of Cafe. Advantage to the defenders. Sure. But these rounds, the way that they've been playing out, I mean, these are some devastating losses for the Soniqs. That last round, I was about to make note of this. Gonfi got 2 big kills there. He confidently took those fights, and he took it to the enemy. He was like, I'm going to win this period. Really big play there from Gonfi, taking those 2 kills. Yes, it was at the very end of the round, and he probably should have done it sooner, maybe. But whatever. He won the fights, and he did it by himself. Well, no, okay. Decent amount of support on both of them. Fine. Pressure from his teammates. But he took the heads-up fight, and he won them. And that's really big because we haven't been seeing a lot of that from the Soniqs today. So credit to Gonfi. And I was going to say, you know, pressure's on him. He transferred regions, coming from Europe to North America to play on this team. And he really doesn't want it to be a relegation situation.
And honestly, these are 2 players that came from Sisu that was relegated.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how you cut it.
You could say, I mean, I agree with you. It was sink and ship, but you don't want to jump from one to another. Now, that's not, obviously not the intention here for the Soniqs. So
no,
there's a lot. I think Gonfi and Slevin have a lot that they're fighting for here, but not just them, but the rest of the team. Everyone is motivated to not get relegated here. And yet, again, I'll say it, those last 4 rounds in a row there from Obey, those are devastating losses for the Soniqs.
Indeed.
Those are hard hitters, man. They are going to have to really bounce back on the second half.
Look, if Obey get 1 more round here, this is not going to look pretty on the second half, but I really hope that Soniqs have a lot in store for us on their defense. Grixer, though, will start off by rattling down Gonfi. Beautiful play here to take down the Zofia. No more stuns available.
That angle that Grixer's using right now was used the last time Obey were on this top floor defense to great effect. It did a lot of damage, and he's doing it again. Soniqs not aware of this, losing a player early on.
That is such a tight angle to deal with. Neptunes finally will come in and spot the Maestro, Forrest, who's kind of crouched for just a moment.
Electroclaw dealt with. That's big. It means the wall will get opened up, which is an advantage to Soniqs, but we've seen how Obey have managed to avoid being exposed to those angles before.
They're trying to stay up on the tables. Forrest will find 1 more on Super, and that's the opening. Super was the playmaker before, twice, even though the second round was not won. Now with 3 players full HP, they'll be able to find Forrest here with Slevin. Slevin for another one on a Fozo. He's hitting hard, and there's 3 players left for Obey. Less than 30 seconds in. And there's a shotgun watching any push through the freezer. This is the same spot used it as before, and Grixer will collect a 2nd kill for himself in the round. Neptune's trying to push in here by the bar. Call it is flashed, but it's Grixer to save the day. He gets 1 kill on Neptune's, and Albonai in the meantime will recover as the smoke turns back. 5 rounds now in a row, and on the defense for Obey Alliance. They are 2 away from Pro League.
Boy, oh boy. Soniqs have to show us something incredible here to bounce it back. A brief reminder. This is Soniqs' map. They should be taking it to Obey, and for a while, in the first half, it looked like they would. My God, I thought Soniqs on their attacks were looking lethal. We're looking strong. The coordination was really good. And then something started to happen. Obey, they started to clutch up. Round after round, clutch after clutch. Individual performance after individual performance, just standing above the rest on Obey's side. And it's starting to spiral out of control here for the Soniqs. It should be a much closer match right now. Really, it should be. But Soniqs are just not giving it all, and Obey certainly are. They're putting in every single effort. You could see how hyped up they are.
Yeah.
In their play, and you know the round ends and they start shaking their mouse. I don't think that's BMing. I think they're just really excited. I think the adrenaline's rushing through their system.
Can you blame them?
No, I cannot.
After a few weeks of playing Challenger League, everything just put together. Yeah, there's a D at the end of tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, guys.
I think what they're trying to say is stay tuned.
Because we might find out that Obey is in Pro League if you just stay tuned for the next 2 rounds.
2 more rounds. Maybe they win it. But now Soniqs are on the defense. And they go for that Mozzie Mute combo, which is so strong in general. But on top of that, this is Cafe Dostoevsky. It's tough to deal with things like this. Now, on the one hand, there is no cut, so this makes things a bit easier for Obey, as Mute Jammers are a lot easier to spot and somewhat easier to deal with, but they will block your drones, and that's the big deal. Combo that with the Mozzie, you're going to have a hard time lodging or dislodging your opponents from their positions. There we go. You stop them. You don't know where they're coming from, and Obey might have to take more direct gunfights in this.
No. Now, okay, reminder. This is second half. Obey now on attack. Yep. So this is where Soniqs have the platform to bounce back. It's very doable. But it just doesn't seem especially likely given the way that these rounds have been won by Obey. Now, it'll be a attack onto the top floor to start things, of course. Got to deal with those players in Cocktail. One thing to note here is how quickly that back bar storage wall got opened up. That was really fast into the round. The second X-Scaros probably stopped by a Mute Jammer.
Yep.
Which is why it's not being detonated on the bathroom, and you can see that there's actually a player there trying to hold on to bathroom. Very powerful position. Super is going to have to be a big playmaker for his team if they want to win this one. He's got assistance on the white hallway. Someone's holding him from white stairs, but it's a rush from Obey. Abunai's all the way in. He's in his own teammate's fire, but he'll get a kill onto the Maestro of Goddess. And the plant's even going down meanwhile, while Grixer and Fozo are getting kills elsewhere. That's a pistol kill for Grixer. It's just Gomphy, and he has no chance. Obey Alliance.
Oh my god.
On match point, series point, pro league point, just one away.
Chat room, everybody watching at home, will tell you right now, and spoiler alert for people that haven't watched EU. There's your warning. Now, in EU, 2 Pro League teams, previously Pro League teams, were knocked down to CL. Sisu and Penta Sports. 2 big names when it comes to EU Pro League. We had BDS and Force coming into PL in Europe. Right now, 2 teams are fighting for their spots in North America. Coming into this, it was pretty much a halfway divide between Obey and Soniqs. That's what you guys were saying at home. Obey are running away with this on Soniqs' map after a super tight coastline as map 1. Best of 3 series favoring the underdog. Oddly enough, usually it's not the case. And the Soniqs now, if they lose any round, it's over. Obey have 5 rounds of flexibility, and that's when it comes to regulation time, not even counting overtime, where they'll have 2 extra rounds on top of that. There's so much flexibility right now for Obey Alliance that the only way for them to lose this game is by literally all disconnecting and not coming back.
5 seconds remaining.
Well,
Attacker's objective is to
the moment is dire right now.
The fate is almost sealed here.
Yeah. I did not expect it to be like this after map number 1. But if I were to venture a guess, I'd say that Soniqs were just discouraged. And it's hard not to be.
At this point, Forest and Callout have been performing excellently for the team. Everybody has been.
I mean,
everybody's been
Grixer. We've seen amazing plays from everyone on Obey, even Fozo. He's been really contributing in terms of just like getting those kills on the entry. Everybody putting in the work. And again, I said it in the map number 1, and I'll say it here on map number 2. These are the types of plays, these are the types of performances where you look at them and you go, we deserve to be in Pro League.
Pro League material. That's what you're looking for. Oh, quick peek out here as Neptunes almost gets his head chopped off by the Zofia of Abunai, but it'll be saved. He'll run back for just a moment, and Fozo will be setting up here by the Cigar Hatch again. Unable to catch the Jaeger off, at least for now. Grixer putting a lot of pressure from below. And that's what you're looking for. Make sure you have everybody running for the hills as you pressure the defenders more and more. That Jaeger's position is just so compromised, and Grixer is, well, he can just spend the entire round playing from here, basically.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of work. Neptune's going to drop down to try and stop him, but Abu Nai's there to catch Neptune, say night-night, and no, you cannot deny my buck opening below your anchors. Soniqs now feeling a mountain of pressure as Obey continued to apply vertical pressure from the bottom.
Grixer is looking for the shoddy kill. He gets a couple shots into his body from Goddess on the castle, but that's call out to find it. There's two players doubled up here on the window. Forrest is ready to use his crossbow bolts, and Abunai goes up. He gets taken off, though, by Gonfi. It's 4v3 now. His call out is low on HP as well, but that's super to find Fozo.
Oh.
The openings are coming back here for the Soniqs, and it's a 3v3. Gonfi will heal himself back up to around half HP, and all the utilities being used up by the Capitao, but Grixer finds Gonfi, and that might be the opening. The diffuser will be set. Oh, player in the back spotted, but Slevin is down. He already got the kill on call out. It's all on Super, the big team captain now. Can he pull it back? Grixer at half HP. Oh! Super finds one headshot, but he's taken away. It's all over.
Not by the tracks.
Oh! That's how it happens. Stop dead in his tracks, literally. And that's how it goes down. Congratulations, Obey Alliance knocked down the Soniqs to 7-1 on map 2. And Cafe Dostoevsky is done. Welcome, Obey. Back to Pro League. Soniqs, commiserations. But you're going to have to fight through Challenger League for next season.
Well, truly congratulations to Obey, a Pro League performance to get the 7-1